Om not like we will answer the questions, but okay. We have a small announcement. We received a message from His Eminence, and he said this morning he explained the outer seven limb prayers. And the inner seven limb prayer is in the Milarepa Guru Yoga text, and the secret seven limb prayer is in the Tuje Sangrup text. It is I don't know. It's another text, which is called Tuje Sangrup. So in that, the seven limb prayer is given from the perspective of the secret. So before we answer the questions, Khen Rinpoche will give a summary of this secret seven limb prayer, and then in the text today we reach the seven limb prayer. So tomorrow I will try to explain the seven limb prayers from the Milarepa sadhana, so that we don't ignore Rinpoche's command.
I don't want to waste your precious time, but as Rinpoche told us, as Rinpoche mentioned, so I just briefly a few words say in Tibetan. Rinpoche help me to translate that, okay? Tambote Guhe Samajin Angtini Ranriklala Chansalos Tate Lakuyur.
So in the Guya Samaja Tantra, there is a stanza which says, homage to the deity who is self-awareness.
Then the Ranrik the Hipa Sarik the Montru Sumba there is.
Self-awareness means, the consciousness which is luminous, and Rik means to have recognized that luminous mind.
Then manga answer chupambuza chutanjan wrong tarsungwa the toba julichewatin laritan chupa nang choda chupa drupa chupa seter chalas.
So when one realizes that, and one realizes how all phenomena are, free, without coming and going, without arising, coming and going, right? So that is the offering, ultimate secret offering.
The Mayotonga Toloya, Mayotonga Zeta, Yoba me ba Tawa Cheba, the Nagasano you didn't it, the Tinhike, then take Zimba the Patornovata, then Yapaya Huris.
So, fixating on the four extremes, the extreme of existence, non-existence, both existence and non-existence, and none of them. These are the four extremes. And dwelling in fixation on these four, that is the transgression, and that is the confession in the prayer.
To some Yamni Ji Rangsong, to some Deba, Maumba Tatas in the Dusong Ewa Seami, but Telezangi Seami, Chutam Jinyabani, don't rata, Teya Jazago.
Okay, so seeing no division between the past, present, and future, seeing no division between good and bad. That is the idea of realizing all phenomena in equanimity, and that is that is rejoicing, the secret version of rejoicing.
Then Korat on the Tupper course, rank the Ninzink Dramatam Jepa Yanroate, that tell last Jabat, Chijukolo Yomers.
So, being free from all confusions related to duality, subject-object duality, okay, that is the secret to turn the Dharma for that. That is the request for teaching.
Kada Santar Jimbar Yo Zeditini, rank Semchinelo, Saja Chimbote, Santaris, De Hakon, Sanidental. Chujuka ngola susu ne tokoyore.
Because
Kada data tara de Yangina Madawa Yuba.
Okay, so and then the aspiration, there is the aspiration to remain in the primordial pure nature of the mind, katak, which means pure from the beginning. That is the Mahamudra state. To pray so that we can dwell in that. That is the request for not passing into parinirvana, but remaining for the benefit of all.
Ni kun jang rang rek to par ngo je je da su su sem ne lok de ha ko zin da de korso me me ngo cha de.
So then the dedication, secret dedication is, usually described as being free from three conceptions, like this morning His Eminence explained. So when one is able to remain in the natural state of the mind, state of one's own mind, in that state there are no thoughts, no conceptual thoughts, that is free from all thoughts. And that is the secret dedication.
Yani ten the mandana tini ko som lin jin ba. Tin ko sam tan je rang yin lin ji ta there is.
So if one is able to follow this practice of 7 limb prayers, then one reach the state of the 3 kayas, which are spontaneously present from the beginning in our selves. Okay, now we start the questions.
We have a number of questions that were submitted in the box, and so it's wonderful that everybody's writing questions and submitting them. Please continue that. So this first question that we have is related to the Guru Yoga text by Milarepa. It says, Rinpoche this morning mentioned a Guru Yoga text by Milarepa. What is its name, and where can I find it? I looked on the GBI website.
Okay, so the name of the Milarepa Guru Yoga text is the Guru Yoga and Talk Offering of the great Saint Milarepa, called the Glorious Blazing Wisdom. And it is probably available from... Huh?
Not all. We had some months ago or 2 months ago we did the Milarepa talk. So I don't know if technically it's in the under the library, but I know that the office put it as to download when we did it, so maybe it's easy to find with the office.
Yeah, on the text itself it says it's from Tibetan Meditation Center. So if you contact TMC in Frederick, is it?
Yeah.
Maryland?
Kenshin Gyaltsen
Center. I think they have the text. So actually, His Holiness Chezang Rinpoche also composed one sadhana, yoga sadhana of Milarepa, and I have translated that, and I have it in my computer, as PDF. So if it looks like it is slightly different from this one, but if anybody is interested, let me know. I can email the PDF.
Our next question is, please define bodhicitta.
Okay. Now, bodhicitta is a big subject. There are different kinds of bodhicitta. Basically, the conventional bodhicitta and the absolute bodhicitta. And the conventional bodhicitta also has two parts, the aspirational bodhicitta and the engaging bodhicitta. So each one of them has its own definition. But basically, bodhicitta means the wish or the longing to attain enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings. That is the definition of bodhicitta, to wish to attain complete enlightenment, to liberate all sentient beings.
Our next question is also related to bodhicitta. Why is bodhicitta the main tool for self-grasping? I think it means to eliminate self-grasping.
Why is it?
Why is bodhicitta the main tool for eliminating self-grasping?
Because, ego grasping is concern about me, concern about myself. It is centered on oneself. And bodhicitta is the opposite. It is concerned about the others. Bodhicitta is embracing everyone else. And ego is rejecting everyone else and embracing oneself. So therefore, these two thoughts are opposite to each other. So when the ego grasping is strong, it is hard to be compassionate. It is hard to be loving. It is hard to practice bodhicitta. But when the bodhicitta is strong, the ego becomes weaker. The ego becomes weaker and weaker. So that in that way, bodhicitta acts as an antidote to ego grasping. So I would say, wisdom is a direct antidote to ego grasping, and conventional bodhicitta is an indirect antidote. Conventional bodhicitta is still conceptual. There is the idea of others, the idea of you as a compassionate person, and the idea of being compassionate. So it is conceptual, all right. But when you develop this feeling of love and compassion very strong, then the grasping at oneself alone disappear, becomes like irrelevant in a way. So in this way, slowly it starts dying, so to speak. But when you develop the wisdom of selflessness and emptiness, then you kind of dissect where is I in the body, outside the body, in the bones, in the skins. You break it down and find nothing that can be called I. There's no ground for grasping. So that is like a direct antidote.
Our next question is, how does one find, recognize, or choose one's root guru?
Okay, so the direct answer is the root guru is a guru who points out the nature of your mind and you recognize it. A guru who helps you recognize the nature of your mind, that is a root guru. But to add a few more words to this answer, I feel personally, some people have very powerful good karma from the past, good connection with the teacher. So the moment they see the guru, they reach in a different level of consciousness and see the nature of mind, recognize the nature of mind very easily. But for some, it is not so easy. it takes time, right? So each person comes with a different history, karmic history. So for average people, at the beginning, there is the power of the Guru's compassion and realization. It's very tangible. Like we experience this in the presence of His Eminence. We don't know what is it, but there's something beautiful about. There's an aura. Okay, there is a power that makes us happy, even without really communicating with language. There is an invisible language, a communication taking place. Okay, so this is I feel this is the power of the Guru, the power of his compassion and realization. It creates like a very comfortable space in which we feel, also a little bit more compassionate, more loving, easier to meditate. We want to help others, not harm others. These positive thoughts come easily, right? So then that makes us feel some sense of devotion, but it's still very weak. We may still change our mind if we see the Guru doing something that we don't like. Then we may change. But the Guru then gives the nectar of Dharma. In the visualization, he has the offering begging bowl filled with nectar. That nectar represents the teaching of love, compassion, devotion, meditation, Mahamudra, etc. So when you implement those teachings in your own life, okay, when you implement, you start to experience that you are now able to deal with your anger, you are able to deal with your jealousy, deal with your pride. Okay, and as a result of that, you develop a unusually deeper sense of contentment and confidence and joy. And that joy is very helpful and very powerful in terms of you being able to help others. When we are full of insecurity, there is no possibility to help others. Even if we wish, there's no way. First, we have to be content, happy, confident, grounded, right? So the instruction of the teaching start turning into experience. So when we have that experience, then that Guru become more and more special in our mind. Okay, and then we develop the sense of deep gratitude. Okay, and when we develop more and more experience like that, we reach to a point where nothing can change the devotion. Even if everybody goes against the Guru, criticize the Guru and say he's not good, not that, it doesn't affect your devotion. It's become like very firm. Okay, so and when we reach to this kind of level, then what the Guru instructs, when the Guru points out the nature of the mind, it's very easy to recognize. Because as a student, as a disciple, you are very ripe and prepared for the pointing out. And when you recognize the nature of the mind, from that moment onwards, the Guru is called the root Guru.
Our next question is, when practicing Guru Yoga, should we always visualize the same Guru? Or can we visualize a different Guru each time, for example, if we have more than one Guru?
Yeah, so the text, Guru Yoga text itself says, first of all, the Guru embodies all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. So all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas also includes all the Gurus that you have. So when you are doing, for example, the Jigten Sumgon's Guru Yoga, then in the center of your visualization, the Guru is Jigten Sumgon. But Jigten Sumgon embodies all other Gurus that you have. Okay? All other Gurus that you have, they are represented by Jigten Sumgon. Because Garchen Rinpoche said again and again that all Buddhas are identical in the expanse of wisdom. Okay, so the wisdom of all the Buddhas, they are one and the same, just like same from the same factory. Okay, so therefore, in each Guru Yoga practice, in Milarepa Guru Yoga, the main figure is Milarepa. But Milarepa is not only Milarepa. Milarepa is also Jigten Sungbon. Milarepa is also Tilo, Naro, Marpa, Pakmodruba, Gampopa, and so on. And not only the Kagyu lineage, but all the masters that you have received teachings. You can think that all of them are within him, and he is in all of them. Okay, all gurus are within Jigten Sumgon, and Jigten Sumgon is in all the rest of the gurus. One moment, sorry. In the Serkangma prayer, it says, all Buddha lands are pervaded by your body, and all Buddha lands manifest within your body. There is a verse like that in the seven limb prayer. Okay, so this is the idea of all gurus being in one guru, and one guru being in all gurus.
Is it correct to take refuge more than once?
More than once? Yeah. I mean, it is not necessary to take refuge like formally many times, right? But we take refuge all the time. Whenever we receive, for example, an empowerment, we repeat after the Guru and take refuge in the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. So we take refuge in Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha multiple times in every empowerment. Okay, so that is okay. But when we take refuge, then there is a little ceremony that you offer your hair and your name get changed. So this thing is unnecessary, I think, to do many times. But it's also, there's nothing wrong in doing it again and again, but it's not very necessary. So I request Khenpo Tamphel to correct me if I say something stupid.
We have a couple of questions on meditation. The first one is, doing meditation without being distracted is very difficult. What are some antidotes to use during a meditation session to help?
Okay, so usually in the instructions, if there are too much mental distractions, then one can try to sadden the mind, give it a little bit of sadness. Okay, so that can be developed, that sense of sadness can be developed by thinking about the defects of samsara, thinking about the sufferings of the sentient beings in the six realms, thinking about how impermanent life is, how everything can change any moment, how life is so precious but too short. So when you think about these common preliminary thoughts, okay, then that can create a little bit of sadness in the mind, and that will help the mind being distracted. So likewise, when the mind is too dull, then we have to think about something bright, like thinking about, even some texts imagine sitting in the shower, sitting in the water from a waterfall, cold water pouring on the head. So this gives you some sense of wakefulness. Yeah, you come out of that very sluggish or low energy state of mind, and practice normally.
Our next question is also related to meditation. Can you recommend a specific meditation on impermanence?
Okay, so impermanence is actually like a conceptual meditation, right? So you have to really free yourself from all distractions and think about, you know, a few realities. Okay, how many friends did you have as a child, and how many of them are still alive? Okay, and among the relatives, among the friends, and also like in the next 50, 60 years, all the people that we see right now in the world, they will all be replaced. None of us will be there, right? So therefore, everything changes every moment. There is no break. During our teaching, we have a break. We call it a break, but in the nature of impermanence, there is no break at all. Everything is changing. For example, our body, our teeth, our eye, our bones are decaying each moment. And therefore, when we become 40, 45, we can see the signals. So these signals, these symptoms are not like all of a sudden. It kind of proves that the body has been changing from the moment it was born. Okay, so therefore, some teachers say that we begin to die the moment we are born. Life is just like a process of dying. Okay, so like this, you can read like some. There are a lot of instruction texts you can read, and they provide ideas of thoughts how to think about impermanence.
We have a couple of questions on sadhana practice. The first one is on Lama Chopa. It says, in Lama Chopa, why do we recite the name mantra?
Name mantra. Okay. So we recite the name mantra, mainly in my feeling, mainly to receive the blessing of the Lama. Okay. So when you recite the name mantra, even if you just read the mantra, for example, Om Namo Guru Vajradrikti Lokanath Ratna Shri Mula Guru Mahamudra Siddhi Phala Hun. So you are asking for Siddhi of Mahamudra. Siddhi Phala. Siddhi means the accomplishment. Phal means the result. So Mahamudra Siddhi Phala. So you are basically saying, my kind root Guru, the Lord of the three worlds, please grant me the result or fruit of Mahamudra. So that is the blessing you are requesting for from the Guru. So if you visualize properly, okay, and if your visualization is stable, then you reach in a very special zone, okay, in the practice, in which when you feel the presence of the Guru, it's not only like imagining alone, okay. You forget everything else, and it's just the Guru and you, and you are like facing the Guru in your mind without distraction, and you are full of devotion, okay, and you are talking to the Guru. Please give me Mahamudra realization. It's also not like saying that with a worldly, mundane kind of desire. But in the background of that request, there is the wisdom of knowing that there is, in reality, the Guru's nature and my nature are identical. It is not like asking for something external. You request, and at the same time you know that you already possess what you are asking. Right? So therefore, the name mantra is to create this very deep connection, if you like, between you and the Guru, so that you can quickly attain the Guru's blessing in the form of Mahamudra realization.
Our next question is about the amassment of blessing sadhana that you were discussing earlier. It's a two-part question. First part is, does the mantra garland have the mantra clearly or just a fast circle of light?
Okay, so I clearly remember His Eminence Garchen Rinpoche always describing the mantra. He says it's very, very clear, and it is not flat. Okay, it is made of light. It is not solid kind of substance, and each syllable is very clear when you visualize. But when it turns, it spins very fast. So when it is spinning, you cannot see the letters clearly, of course. Yeah. But when you set the syllables, right? So when you set the syllables, now it differs from person to person. It's like in my case, sometimes I can visualize the syllables very clearly. Sometimes it doesn't work. So it depends a lot on your day and in the situation of your body, your channels, wind, whatever, I don't know. So sometimes, it's easier to have a very clear visualization of the mantra. Sometimes it's kind of dim, So so maybe Khenpo Rinpoche can correct me. I feel the more devotion we feel, the more compassion we feel, the brighter everything becomes in the visualization. So if your devotion is deeper, if your compassion is deeper, then it is easier to visualize yourself in the form of deity. The sense of being the deity is stronger. And if there is no compassion, if there is no devotion, if it is just like a desire to attain something like a deity and become the deity, I think that alone is not enough. It has to be built on the basis of love and compassion and bodhicitta. Therefore, it says Vajrayana is incomplete without bodhicitta. Vajrayana is developed on the basis of bodhicitta, right? So, do you agree, Khenpo? Yeah. So, I don't know. I feel like that. Sometimes, for example, when Garchen Rinpoche is with you, and you meditate close to Garchen Rinpoche, then I observe myself that I am a better person. Usually, it's not like that. And in that moment, it's very easy to be kind. And the deity visualization is also very much better than when I do alone. And that is because there are two things. One is the Guru, and my devotion is also stronger because of the presence.
The second part of this question is, has the hung at the navel calling blessings dissolved when the mantra garland revolves?
The hung does not dissolve, right? It remains. But when you do the completion stage with the dissolution, then of course everything dissolves. But when you are reciting, the hung and the mantra around remains. But the hung doesn't spin, only the mantra around spin.
Okay, we come to our last submitted question. How to deal with doubt that Vajrayana is a fast path when I hear that someone will achieve enlightenment in 3 lives? I have doubts.
Okay, so if you talk from the Vajrayana history, okay, then 3 lifetimes is too long. There have been Mahasiddhas who attain enlightenment in few days. This morning, Khenpo Rinpoche was telling me a story about one of Khenpo Rinpoche's previous lives, Garchodingpa. Garchodingpa was a disciple of Jigten Sumgon, a direct disciple of Jigten Sumgon. So Jigten Sumgon asked him to go in seal retreat for 12 years. Okay, so he went in, and after 12 days, Jigten Sumgon asked him to come out after 12 days. And he got very confused. He said, am I hearing right? If like an attendant was calling him, that your teacher is calling you. So he thought maybe the attendant has misunderstood. So then the attendant came again. So he went out and he said, like, you put me inside for 12 years and why did you ask me to come out after 12 days? And Jigten Sumgon said, you have attained what you were supposed to attain in 12 years, in 12 days. You know, so there are many stories like that. And the reason is because Vajrayana is packed with very practical, precise methods, right? Very great methods to deal with our negative thoughts and ego and so on. Like, I feel usually like the Sutrayana is treating the body like a problem. Okay, Sutrayana sees the body as a problem and believes in giving a little punishment to it. Okay, so and focus only on the mind, how to tame the mind, how to transform the mind, but Vajrayana idea is use the body so that the mind can be transformed. Okay, so therefore the Vajrayana, what the Sutrayana ignores, the Vajrayana you make full use of it. The channels, the wind and the chakras and all this nadi, everything, all these joys, generating all kinds of joys through the secret practice and so on. So in this way, because of this very sophisticated methods, the consciousness or the mind can be purified very fast. So therefore, attaining enlightenment in such a short time is possible because there are tools for that.
At this point, we can open it up to questions for the group. If anybody has questions, feel free to raise your hand. We do have people that want to ask questions.
Rinpoche, I have a question about the four extremes. There's existence and non-existence, and there's neither or both, but there's something missing in there that I didn't catch. What's the second one?
So the four extremes are, the extreme of existence, non-existence, both existence and non-existence, and the fourth is none of them, neither existent nor non-existent.
Thank you. I have another question. You had translated the Sanskrit of Jigten Sumgam's name mantra, and my poorly developed mind didn't remember the translation. Would you? I know you just did part of it, but could you start from the beginning for me again, please?
So at the beginning of the mantra there is Om Ah, and there is Hum at the end. Om. So the mantra is in between Om Ah and Hum. Okay. So the Om Ah Hum. These are the syllables representing the Vajra body, Vajra speech, and Vajra mind of the Guru. First of all, okay, and then the actual mantra is Om Namo Guru. Namo means like homage. Even nowadays in India they say Namaste, right? Om Namo Guru. Guru means the Lama. So Lama is, like I tried to explain before, very poorly, the root of all blessings. Yeah. Om Namo Guru. Vajra Drik. Vajra Drik means the holder of the Vajra holder. Okay. Om Namo Guru. Vajra Drik. Trilokanath. Tri means three. Lok means world. Nath means the Lord. So Lord of the three worlds. In Tibetan it's Jigten Sumgon. Om Ano Vajra Trilokanath. Ratna Shri. Ratna means the jewel. Okay. And Shri means the glorious jewel. Ratna Shri. Mula Guru. Mula means the root. Yeah, like we say the root tantra is called the Mula Tantra. Okay. Mula means root. Guru means Guru. So root Guru. Mula Guru. Mahamudra Siddhi Palam. Mahamudra is the great seal. Siddhi means the attainment, the realization. Phala means fruit. Phal means fruit. Even in Hindi, even in modern Hindi, phal means fruit. Okay, phala hung means So this is like supplicating, appealing to the Vajra body, speech, and mind of the Guru for the siddhi of Mahamudra.
First, thank you for your wonderful teachings, and if you could elaborate a little bit on pointing out.
Pointing out?
Yes. The mind, yes.
Okay. All right. So the now, in order to participate in this situation of getting pointed out, okay, so there are some requirements. Okay, so from the disciples' side, there are some requirements. From the Guru's side, there are some requirements. Okay, so from the disciples' side, there should be, certain degree of devotion. So devotion doesn't mean like a fabricated, behavior. It has to come from the heart. Okay, quite natural sense of devotion. So that is the main requirement from the disciple side. And then from the Guru side, there should be, like I tried to explain before in the Mahamudra practice, the Guru has to be somebody who is able to, transmit the teaching of the Buddha intact, without anything lost, without anything altered, and who is able to, transplant his or her own realization in the head of the disciple. Okay, so there are certain qualities like that. In short, the guru has to be someone who has realization, him or herself, who has, the blessing of the lineage. So when these things come together, then the guru can say a few words, and your mind knows itself, mind sees itself. One time I remember Geshe Rinpoche was pointing out instruction here in this temple in 2000, I think, 2000. So then, like I asked Rinpoche outside, I did not get it. and Rinpoche said, if you ride on a donkey, okay, and then you go in the village, and ask everybody, did you see my donkey? Did you see my donkey? If you inquire, then it will take a long time, and then one day somebody will come who knows that it's your donkey that you are riding, right? And then say, your donkey is here. And you look and you realize, oh, I've been so stupid. It has always been with me, right? So he used that example. He said, likewise, when we are looking for the mind, this is like riding the donkey and looking for the donkey. So therefore, to be able to get pointed out, rather than having like an arch to get pointed out, we have to create the atmosphere in which it can happen. And the way to do that is the Guru Yoga. For example, Guru Yoga is exactly for that. Without Guru Yoga, our mind is very dry. It's very worldly, too mundane. And the Guru Yoga, before Guru Yoga practice, before bodhicitta practice, our mind is kind of rigid, solid. If you hit, it hurts. It's very solid. Guru Yoga slowly turns it into like a very soft clay. Okay, like our mind becomes very soft and clay, like a very fine clay. When it becomes like that, then it can be turned into anything you want. You can make beautiful designs. You can make art out of that, for example. Likewise, when our mind has a good degree of love and compassion and devotion to the Guru, to the lineage, then our mind becomes very smooth and soft. And that mind can do anything. It can be pointed out. It can be turned into a deity. It can be, visualized as any deity easily, in an instant. Okay, like a fish jumping from the pond in the text they say. So all these are possible if we prepare our mind good enough through practices like Guru Yoga and so on.
So, Rinpoche, you mentioned about that fivefold path of Mahamudra should be included in every practice. Where it is included within Idam practice? Because there is bodhicitta, then there is Idam, there is Mahamudra during dissolution and offering of merit. But where is Guru Yoga within?
Okay, so I can give you an example. In Jigten Sumgon's Jigten Sumgon has written a lot of very short but very profound instructions on the fivefold path of Mahamudra. The fivefold path of Mahamudra is extremely special because it integrates the three vehicles into one without any contradiction. It has a Sutrayana, it has the Tantrayana, it has the Vinaya. Everything is within one path without any contradiction. Okay, so therefore it's a combination of all paths basically. And then Jigten Sumgon says, as a disciple of Jigten Sumgon, you should integrate. Even if you eat one morsel of food, even if you eat like one fruit, like a grape, okay? If somebody gives you a grape, offers you a grape to eat, you can practice the fivefold Mahamudra in the process of eating that. How to do that? Okay, you feel that you want to eat this fruit as a medicine to sustain your life for the benefit of all sentient beings. If I can protect this body, and if I can live longer, I want to benefit all sentient beings. Okay, so that is the first of the fivefold Mahamudra. You just don't grab and eat. Okay, you eat this as a medicine to keep yourself alive for the benefit of all sentient beings. And then when you eat, you for a moment you visualize yourself in the form of the deity, whatever it is. If you are practicing Chakrasamvara, for a moment you visualize yourself as Chakrasamvara, Vajrayogini, whatever deity, okay, Charisik. And then eat that grape as an offering to all the Buddha families that are naturally present in your faculties, sense faculties. For example, the 5 aggregates and the 12 sense spheres and the 18 dhatus. Okay, they are all in the deity yoga. There is nothing that is not holy. Your whole body is pure, sacred, right? It's not seen as ugly and filthy. It's all deity. So you make offering to the body and to the deities within you. Okay, and while eating, you think of while eating, not just eating like with distraction as we usually do. You, for a moment, think of the Guru above your head. Okay, and supplicate in your mind, for the benefit of all sentient beings, may I attain the Mahamudra realization. And remain, if you are a practitioner of Mahamudra, if you have that experience, you can go straight into a Mahamudra state. Otherwise, you can be a little bit mindful. Okay, and then after that, the person offer you the grape. Okay, you say, by the merit of offering me this grape, may this person and all sentient beings be free from all sufferings, attain enlightenment. Like this. So, while eating one piece of food, like a grape, you can practice the fivefold Mahamudra. And if you do any other practice, like let's say Tara, okay? So anyway, at the beginning there is the generation of refuge and bodhicitta. Every practice have that. And then you visualize Tara as your deity. And the Guru you can visualize above your head, and then after the recitation, when you meditate on Mahamudra and you dedicate. So this way, like make sure that the 5 factors are present in whatever practice you do. And that is the Jigten Sumgon's style of practicing the Dharma, which produce thousands of Mahasiddhas, the fivefold Mahamudra. So it's a very successful set of practice, historically.
I think that concludes our questions. We're getting near the end.
we can dedicate
Yep.
on the yellow prayer book on page 29. It's Lord Jintim Sungun dedication prayer.
Mm-hmm.
So we can read that. Glorious, holy, venerable, precious, kind root and lineage lamas, divine assembly of Idams and assemblies of Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, heroes and Rinins, Yogini and assembly of Dakinis, dwelling in the 10 directions, please heed me. By the power of this vast root of virtue, may I benefit all sentient beings through my body, speech, and mind. May the affliction of desire, hatred, ignorance, pride, and jealousy not arise within my mind. May thoughts of fame, reputation, wealth, honor, and concern from this life not arise for even a moment. May my mind stream be moistened by loving kindness, compassion, and bodhicitta, and through that may I become a spiritual master with good qualities equal to this infinity of space. May I gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra in this very life. Even at death, may the torment of suffering not arise. May I not die with negative thoughts. May I not die confused by wrong view. May I not experience an untimely death. May I die joyfully and happily in the great luminosity of the mind as such, and in the pervasive clarity of Dharmata. May I, in any case, gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra at the time of death or in the bardo.
Thank you.